Okay. All right. Well, so I'm doing this, and I assume that I'm on the air. So this is my first go with this, with the dual thing. So I'm trying to manage a radio show and do this online chatty chat. So hopefully some of you will come and join me over here. I have so much to talk about. I got a little Black Sabbath going on. I'm on thatmetalstation.com doing my Red Beard radio thing, which is my true passion, honestly, if I'm being honest, is radio. I like this video thing and I've fallen into it. And I'm really, really enjoying it. But uh it's hold on. Speaking of which, I need to do the radio thing. And you might hear it in my headphones, honestly. But yeah, uh, I'm all over the place now, and I'm trying to make it all happen all at once, and it's gonna be a slog. I'm not gonna lie to you; it's not gonna be perfect at first. I'm pretty, and I'm pretty fun, and I'm pretty funny, but like sometimes it's just hard to make this all work together at the same time. So But anyway, I'm getting it done, and we're here, and we're doing it, and I'm in the new studio, and I'm excited about it. So you know, So I have one ear on music and one ear on you. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And every once in a while, I need to go talk to my radio audience. So if you hear me go like all of a sudden start talking about what I just heard, I'm not crazy, and neither are you. It's just part of the deal. But we're going to start talking about some things that are going on. Like, for example, right now, there's a band on thatmetalstation.com, 68. That's who I'm playing. It's a band called 68 out of, I believe, Georgia, and it's the original lead singer of the band Norma Jean. And what a fantastic fucking band this is! So good. Two guys making so much music. It's just a drummer and a singer, and they're like doing their thing, and it's I don't know. It's one of the best things I've heard in quite some time. So I'm super excited about it, and I hope I get to see them soon live. But so many things are going on in the world. Britney Spears has gone absolutely batshit crazy, and I don't know how to feel about it because I was on that free Britney train, and obviously she should be free. The whole conservatorship thing needed to be done with, right? Like that's ridiculous. But apparently, she had some measure of insanity go on this past weekend. Hold up, let me. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. Let me move some things around here. I need to move this over here. See, while all this is going on, I need to figure out how to make it happen for myself, right? Okay, we'll make that smaller. Right, we're going to make that smaller. We'll put that over here. There I go. Uh. I could have been anyone from anywhere. All right. I chose to be from right here. All right, so let's get rid of that. We're gonna get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Yep. All right, hold up. Oh, hell yeah. So check it out. That was 68 straight out of Atlanta, Georgia. And I have to tell you, that is a fantastic ass band. I was just telling my audience over at Redbeard Videos on YouTube that this the lead singer of that band, the original his original band was a band called Norma Jean, which is like metalcore, uh, uh, Christian metal, maybe like something like that. And but it's only two guys. It's only two guys making all that noise. It's incredible, absolutely incredible. The song was called Whether Terrified or Unafraid from their uh, t- uh, uh, Two Parts Viper. That's what it's called. I always get it confused. I want to call it Two Bites Viper, but there's a song on their newest album called Give One Take One, which is called Bad Bite. So I always get them mixed up. But that was Whether Terrified or Unafraid from Two Part Vipers, and such a great band. One of my favorite bands to come out in the past, I don't know, probably 5 or so years. Dance Gavin Dance used to be one of my favorite bands to come out over the past, I don't know, 10 or 15 years. But now they're on the shit heap of history as far as I'm concerned. And we can absolutely talk about them in a few minutes too. But I'm going to play some more music because I'm still trying to get myself sorted here. So this is my first go at this. I'm trying to do a dual broadcast, something I have yet to see done, especially for a one-man operation. I've seen big production teams do this. Like I know, like sports broadcasts do this a lot. CBS Sports and Sirius Satellite Radio, and I used to work for Sirius Satellite Radio, so that's where I first saw this type of thing happen. But if you want to chat with me, come on over to YouTube, to my YouTube channel, Redbeard Videos, and you can chat with me. Just type in what you want, or say hi, or get involved in the conversation, and we'll talk, man. Like we'll have a good time because look, this is what this is all about. It's all about listening to the music and then talking about it because that's what's fun. Before that, we had classic Black Sabbath with Die Young. Dio, I think we just passed his death day. Not, was it his death day or his birthday? I always get them mixed up, and that's sad. that's like a sad thing, but we either just passed his birthday or just passed his death day. But I remember I did a benefit concert. That was like the springtime, right after he died. So I think his birthday just passed. I could be mistaken. I'll look that up in the break. But anyway, long live, even in death, the great Dio. Because my God, I mean, I don't want to start a riot here, but Heaven and Hell might be the best Black Sabbath album there is. And I have no problem saying that. And I know a lot of people agree with me. So it's all good. You know, we don't have to fight about it, but it's a cool conversation to have. Before that, we had Coheed and Cambria with The Broken from the Lost album, which is called Year of the Black Rainbow. It's the Coheed and Cambria album that most fans really don't talk about. And I don't want to say that they don't like it, but it's the dark period for Coheed and Cambria. It was there was no Josh Eppert, different drummer, Chris Penny, of course. We all know Chris Penny if we're into metal. So Chris Penny was in the band at that point. Also, you had the end of the Michael Todd saga there as well. So lots of things going on in the Coheed and Cambria world. If you watch the documentary that came with the Year of the Black Rainbow box set, you kind of got the sense that the band was unhappy, and it kind of looked like the end, to be honest. It kind of looked like it could have been the end or the beginning of the end for Coheed. Since then, they seem much happier. Their music has rebounded. Not that anything they've put out is bad. Year of the Black Rainbow is one of my favorite albums, but it's a weird album. It's just very weird. So that was the first song off there, The Broken. And then, of course, we kicked that set off with The Great Vola, another one of my favorite bands over the past 5 to 7 years or so. All right, coming up right now, I'm going to play a little Avenged Sevenfold, and here's why. And I want to kick off a little conversation. I have somebody who's very close to me personally who is all mad as hell at not at Coheed and Cambria. They're mad at Coheed and Cambria too, but they are mad at Avenged Sevenfold because what the fuck? Where is new material from Avenged Sevenfold? Like, what is happening? It's been years and years. Lots of bands have lapped them. Pantera is back. Okay? Like, what in the ever fuck is happening with Avenged Sevenfold that they can't put out a new album? Now, I understand that they wanted to take a break, that they never took a break before. M Shadows had the voice issues. We've all been patient. But they've been announced to be on a bunch of festivals, especially here in America. So I believe, I don't want to jinx it, but I feel like that's the signal of things to come, that new things are on their way. So, with that in mind, I'm going to play some old things. I'm going to play Buried Alive from because I feel like they've been buried alive. So hopefully they break out of that prison and they go ahead and start coming back to life. It's Avenged Sevenfold with Buried Alive. I'm Chris with ThatMetalStation.com. It's Redbeard Radio. Check me out on YouTube, Redbeard Videos. I love you more, YouTube. I love you more. Oh, yeah. All right. Let's turn that down. It's loud in my ears. Loud in my ears. All right. So, here's what's up. What were we talking about before? I love that I forget. This is how this is going to go. This is what I need to kind of like nail down, right? I need to kind of nail down the whole thing. I need to nail it down. I need to map it out. Oh, we were talking about Britney Spears. That's right. And I was trying to figure out my whole gig here. So, let's take a time just to the sun. I'm allowed to sing the songs. Yeah. Take the time in the find time. Oh, oh, there's my window. Tell me only if it's real. On and on and on. I'm watching myself. That's right, because I'm making sure the stream is up. Hey, I can't live in it for another day. Now I'm going to start shutting all this stuff down. For those who care, there's that metal station, okay? So that's the station that I'm on right now, that metal station, okay? All right, but what I'm going to do right now. So I put in BRI to look up Britney, and it says Brian May transgender. Is that something that we should be worried about? What the fuck is that about? All right. Okay, here we go. Let's look what Hollywood Life has, right? We're going to get to the bottom of this. All right. Britney Spears responds to reports about her behavior at a restaurant. Hold on. I'm going to move this over here. Okay. What's going on here? Okay. I see. Still adjusting stuff, folks. Still adjusting. All right. So Britney Spears responds to a report. Oh, come on. No, I don't care about this. Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. Oh, no. Oh, no. Folks, I'm being hacked as we speak. No. Block. Peace. Get out. Goodbye. Goodbye. All right. Try that one more time. To report about her behavior at a restaurant. They talk about me like I'm a maniac. Okay. So, like, I was totally hacked, guys. Did you see that? Look, and McAfee's right there. They're like, by the way, just in case you missed it, you were almost hacked, dick. After a report claimed that Britney Spears was acting erratic in a restaurant on January 13th, the singer took to Instagram to issue a response to the allegations. Okay. What was her statement? I'm sure I brought a billion I brought a billion smiles. It brought a billion smiles to me looking like Shrek at a restaurant. She said she looked like Shrek. I know the news is all hyped about me being a little drunk at a restaurant. It's like they'll be watching my every move. I'm so flattered they talk about me like I'm a maniac. Then have the balls to talk about all the negative things that happened in my past. Oh my God. Oh, she even went on. I watched Natural Born Killers this morning, and damn, I got enlightened. And holy smokes, shitballs. I'm sure I brought a billion smiles. Oh man. Even my best friend couldn't wait to send it to me. They don't think twice because we are all natural born killers. I know the news is all hyped about me being a little drunk. Oh my goodness. So, I guess here's the question. The question has to be, like, is this such a big deal that we need to report on it as if it's like, I don't know, like Britney Spears isn't even really irrelevant. I mean, I guess she had she was a big story. I guess she was a big story, like in the news over the conservatorship or over the past year, the documentary Free Britney Spears, the hashtag, the whole bit. And then she did have a #1 song with Elton John this year. So, I mean, I guess irrelevant is not the word I would use, but it's definitely I don't know, it's definitely Jill Janis. Huntress is on that metal station right now, and God, I miss Jill Janis. Oh, fantastic. Anyway, um, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I would call her irrelevant, but I would say that it's kind of wacky to make such a big deal. Like, okay, so like she's a celebrity. She was basically locked in her house for like 10, 15, 20 years. So she's probably going to act out on occasion. Why is anyone surprised by this? I think that's my main point here is like why and then on top of that, like so many people were so quick to try and give Kanye West a fucking pass for his Nazi stuff, but Britney Spears gets a little drunk and acts a little like off the wall at a restaurant, and she's like, "Well, maybe the conservatorship was a good idea." Are you fucking high? Conservatorship was a good idea. Let her be a free woman. If she's gonna mess up and then tarnish her own image, that's on her, right? That's how it should be. Ah, coffee, lovely. I know you're all concerned. You're wondering to yourself, but Chris, when are you going to sleep? Why are you drinking such a massive mug of coffee at this time of night? Well, it's decaf. That's #1. But the main reason is because I'm a raging insomniac. Do you have problems sleeping? Here, I want you to try this product. Our sponsor for this show. No, this is nothing. It's my remote control. But I started to realize that started to sound like a commercial. Radio shows going on over at thatmetalstation.com right now. It's Redbeard Radio. And it's part of my growing umbrella of media dominance. Media dominance. And I may go ahead and do my radio voice for you. I'm going, thatmetalstation.com. Yes. And all of a sudden, just everything changes. 1027 WNEW. That was a station back in New York City. And it was like this classic rock station until it wasn't anymore. Opie and Anthony took it over. Well, they didn't take it over like ownership, but they came in and it became a talk station. And I remember that. That was good times. Radio kind of sucks these days. It's sad. I work. I do that in quotes that I work for a radio station locally here in central Pennsylvania as if I actually go there. But I haven't been there in, I can't even remember the last time I did a shift there because it's such horseshit. Like, it's just awful now. It's, first off, political stuff has become such that if you don't share the same politics with people, I don't know. Like, I couldn't go on the air and be the person that I am. I have to be someone different. And that's fine, but that's what corporate terrestrial radio is all about. And that's what's sad. That's the most sad thing about the whole thing, is that it could be so much better. It could be such a creative medium because it's the only one left where people do not have to pay for it. So you can do so much in terrestrial radio, and yet these hacks that run these fucking businesses, especially the one that I work for here, which will it will remain nameless because I don't know. I like some of the people over there. Some of the people that work there are still fantastic. But with that being said, oh god, they do the same crap that everybody else is doing. And they're a local station, like they're a small little station. They should know that they can do so much more because, like, sure, they're getting a fair market share, but they have kind of a captive audience. Like, people aren't going to go anywhere else because we live in an economically depressed area. So it's not like, it's not like they're running out and buying satellite radios and stuff. They have to, like, they have to listen. And as long as we give them their weather and their traffic, then we should give them some entertainment as well, right? That's how I look at it. But that's just me. All right. What else is happening in the world? Do we have any football fans out there? That shit was bananas on Saturday, right? Jacksonville Jaguars went and, like, came back from an insurmountable amount of lead, and it became absurd. It became crazy. I know she's going down the way. Everybody. So, yeah, the Jacksonville Jaguars came back from 27 nothing. 27 nothing. I think I could feel the team here and preserve a 27 nothing lead. And I'm old. So, right now on thatmetalstation.com, the song that's being played is the song She, which is originally written by Kiss. And Anthrax is covering it. And the reason why I'm playing this is that because I'm going to talk about in the next segment here on thatmetalstation.com about Kiss and the infinite final tour that they're on. My fucking God, will it ever end? And with that, if you're checking in for the first time on Red Beer videos, I'm a huge Kiss fan, by the way. So this isn't some sort of diss on Kiss because I actually like that band. But um, at the same time, I'm just over it as far as this tour goes. I've been done with Kiss for quite some time now, so I'm hoping that the tour ends sooner than later because honestly, I can't take any more. I cannot take much more of it. But so I'll be talking about that at great length because yeah, people need to know. Retro Syria, what's up? Do you think that Kurt's hatred for Kiss was uncalled for? Kurt who? What Kurt are you speaking of? Ian. Did he have a hatred for Kiss? I honestly didn't even know that that was a thing. I did not know that that was a thing, honestly. Um, I'll have to look into that, but it depends on what level he hated Kiss. For what reason? I, 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 I think anybody's hatred for Kiss is, you know. Oh yeah, no. I mean, there's what from my voice and the video. I guess that's possible. Hey, 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 yeah. Back on thatmetalstation.com right here. I am Chris from Redbeard Radio. Actually, I'm Chris from Redbeard Videos doing a radio show called Redbeard Radio right here on thatmetalstation.com. That's where I'm doing my thing. And that was Anthrax doing a classic Kiss song called She. And I played that for a reason. There's a dual reason for that. The first one is Anthrax, hands down, maybe hands down, pretty damn close to hands down. Top five, definitely. Definitely top five all-time cover bands of all time. Like their original stuff is amazing. Huge Anthrax fan, but they do some of the best covers that I've ever heard of any band. They've done awesome covers of Rush. They've done amazing covers of Kiss. They've done awesome covers of Journey. Like they're just fantastic. They do some of the best. They make everything sound heavy. And then that song right there, She, which they played almost exactly note for note, but they did it in they did it back in the 90s. And they did it in the 90s production, and that just shows how goddamn heavy Kiss could be at times. So that was fantastic. The second reason is that there was an announcement last week that Kiss announced the official end of the final tour. Finally. And it's going well into 2023. Oh my God. Like, I'm going to go to Sonic Temple in Columbus, Ohio in May, and they're still going to be fucking touring because they're playing there. Can this end already? Can this tour end, please? Kiss, look, I am a huge Kiss fan. For those who are listening on thatmetalstation.com and don't know about me, I have a YouTube channel, Redbeard Videos, and I do videos, and I do top fives, and I do opinion pieces, and I do I talk about I do videos exposing new bands, like exposing people to new bands or perfect albums. And another thing that I do is called Fandom Files, where I thoroughly break down bands that I'm a huge fan of. I've only done two so far because they are basically soul ripping. They take parts of my soul. I put my whole life force into them, and I rank their albums from my least favorite to my very favorite, and that's a hard thing to do when you love a band. So I did that for Kiss, and I did it for Queen, and the Kiss one was really excellent. But I will say that I have a really deep love-hate relationship with Kiss, especially since 2000. In 2000, I went to see Kiss in Orlando, Florida on their farewell tour. On the farewell tour. On the tour that they said was going to be their last. What they didn't tell you was later on they revised it and said, well, it was the last tour of the original four guys. That's not what they were advertising. So it sold out like gangbusters across the freaking country and across the world, and everybody went to see it. And then here we are 23 years later, and they're still fucking going. And I have to be honest, everything that they've done since roughly 2003 has been an abject embarrassment. The two albums they put out since have been Sonic Boom and Monster have been awful, just awful. They're just bad records. There's like one good song on two albums worth of music. Paul Stanley's voice sounds like shredded wheat at best. And as a vocalist who like idolized Paul Stanley on a vocal level, like as a singer. When I was starting out as a singer, it was Freddie Mercury, it was Billy Joel, and it was Paul Stanley. Like that was my eclectic mix of like singers that I really got into, and I loved Paul Stanley. And the more interesting thing about him is when you listen to him from the beginning through the 80s and into the 90s, his voice only got better. But then all of a sudden, it didn't. And all of a sudden, it stopped. And now it sounds like dog dung. And it's fucking awful. It's awful and it's so upsetting. It's just so very upsetting. And then on top of that, they're still in the makeup. Gentlemen, you're almost 70. Stop dressing up, for fuck's sake. Are you kidding me? Oh my God. I mean, what a fucking joke. Now, my boy Ian over at another station called another YouTube channel called Retro Serial, which you should check out, especially if you're Gen X. He covers cartoons, he covers TV shows, he covers music. He kind of covers all things that people my age, Generation X, would be interested in and really nostalgic for. And he does a thorough job. So go check him out for certain. But he was just asking me on my over on my YouTube stream about whether or not I thought Kurt Cobain's hatred for Kiss was uncalled for. Now, if I had to take a guess, Kurt Cobain being the frontman for Nirvana, who basically who came about and basically took hair metal and bands like Kiss back behind the shed and did away with them a la Old Yeller style. Yes, I think it's completely. I don't think it's uncalled for. I think it's completely justified, because Kiss was this like preening at that point pretend hair band. Because Kiss, if you look through their whole career, I don't want to go off on a full hour and a half of Kiss, but if you go through their whole career, they always tried to kind of go with what was popular at the time. And then after Kurt Cobain kind of shit on them and did what he was going to do, they came out with an album called Revenge, which was way heavier and much darker than everything they did before. I don't know if that was the direction they were going to go anyway, but they probably put their finger in the air, went like that, and said, this is the way the wind is blowing, and this is what we're going to do. And it was a phenomenal album. It was wonderful. So do I think it's uncalled for? No, not at all. I think every single establishment has its rebellion, especially in music. You know, disco had punk, hair metal had grunge. So it seems that every group, every time a genre or subgenre gets established and becomes the dominant force, there's just another shovel around the corner to bash its skull in. And Kurt Cobain was that to Kiss and all other hair metal bands of the time, the commercial metal bands of the time. Now, on to something else. Right now, a really fantastic. For those of you who collect vinyl, if you're into prog metal bands, or if you're into, and even like metalcore or mathcore, deathcore even, the Contortionist just put out a fantastic line of vinyl, colored vinyls, various colors, various styles, and it's random, and they only made 500 and something of them, and it's broken out into different numbers, and there's only one of like some of these. So it's really, really freaking cool. I ordered it's for the album Language. I ordered mine, and I'm going to play two songs back to back from the Contortionist off the Language album, because unfortunately you can't play these songs separately, and you'll understand why momentarily. So I'm playing Language 1, Intuition, And Language to Conspire from the Contortionist album Language. It's Chris from Redbeard Videos doing Redbeard Radio. Yikes, that's a mouthful. Right here on thatmetalstation.com. All right, Ian, you wrote me a lot here. Let's see what's going on. He did a prank. Yeah, I'm not seeing your stuff right away. There's no doubt. Kiss wanted to have Nirvana open for them. Oh, well. Kurt would prank call and say yes, but jokingly and hang up. Yeah, absolutely. I can completely understand why Kurt Cobain would not be open to opening for Kiss. That's kind of what they were rebelling against. It would be an interesting thing. I wonder. Let me look this up. Who has Kiss opened up for? I mean, not Kiss. Who has what? No, what am I doing here? No, 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 no. No, this needs to go. This has to go. Oh my goodness. Okay. Who has Nirvana opened up for? That's what I want to know. Who? Because I think that's an interesting question. Mudhoney, that's consistent. Here we go. Nirvana concert and tour history. All right. Let's go to the beginning, folks. Let's do it. Let's go all the way to the beginning. 1987. Da, 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 da. They played with Mudhoney. They played with a band called Dickless. That's fantastic. The Melvins. That makes perfect sense. Mudhoney again. Yeah, I'm going through here. Hold on. I'm still at 1990. They haven't broken yet. Because I'm wondering if it was like 1992. Bam! Headlining arenas. The Jesus Lizard. Oh, I just saw a thing that said Jeff Beck remembered. Jeff Beck died. That fucking. Ian tells me after Nevermind they did not open, I think. Well, let's find out. L7. They played with L7 a lot. They played with L7 a lot. STP. Wow, that's a great show. Wow. August 20th, 1990, Sacramento, California. Stone Temple Pilots, Nirvana, and Sonic Youth. Wow. That's one hell of a show. That is a really just fantastic show. All right, here we go. They started playing festivals in 1991. Then it was Sonic Youth, Wool, Dinosaur Jr., Hole. Interesting. Dinosaur Jr., Screaming Trees they opened for. This is still 1991. Let's see, what was the set list for? Does it have one? Then why is it? Oh, die. The site sucks. What is that show? Holy hell. Nine Inch Nails, Nirvana, and Smashing Pumpkins. Whoa. Yeah, Smashing Pumpkins headlined that show. Wow. Crazy. There's a band called Captain America. I really have to do a deep dive on grunge because there's a lot of these bands that, like the names of these bands, Urge Overkill, that's pretty cool. Opened for them, 91. This is all October of 91, so we're getting into it now. Let's see, Shonen Knife, a lot of Shonen Knife. Urge Overkill again. I liked a lot of Urge Overkill stuff. It's a pretty cool band. Ooh, Nirvana opened for Violent Femmes in 1992. What is that tour? At the Cow Palace. Pearl Jam, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Nirvana. It looks like Chili Peppers closed that show. I guess that's near San Francisco, so I guess that makes sense. I guess that would make sense. It looked like they opened a few shows here. Hmm. It looks like they headlined the Reading Festival in 92, though. But that's in Reading, Pennsylvania. I just sold a Pavement record. Pavement's on this lineup here. I just sold a Pavement record for $50. It's pretty awesome. Nick Cave. All right, well, I think that pretty much answered my question. Other than like Red Hot Chili Peppers early in 92. No, they opened for Mudhoney in 93. Unless it was like a co-headline. No, I'm wrong. They just listed it differently. I like Screaming Trees. I thought Screaming Trees were alright. Yeah, it looks like after that though. Yeah, once In Utero hit, that was it. I mean, it was definitely over once In Utero hit. There was no more of that. Interesting. Interesting topic Ian has brought to me. Very cool. Thank you, sir. Oh, Mudhoney was fantastic, dude. You and I have very different tastes. Mudhoney's fantastic. I love that band. Now we're gonna drop a little Dream Theater next. We're gonna drop an 11-minute. PJ Harvey. PJ Harvey's good. I mean, not great, not my favorite. I mean, I didn't love all of it. Like when it came to like '90s grunge, the Big Four were great. I was okay with Pearl Jam. Uh, I uh, I I love Alice in Chains. I love Soundgarden. Uh, I still love. I mean, I still love Alice in Chains, and I still love Soundgarden. Um, Violent Femmes are cool. You did a Violent Femmes song. What do you mean you did it? Like you fully recorded it, or was it like a karaoke jam type thing? No, you don't like Pearl Jam. Like I'm not like a Pearl Jam fan. I like a lot of their songs. I find myself liking a lot of their songs. I really enjoy their first album. I like a lot of their like second album. They definitely did get a little too her for me after a while. Too much of the same. Eddie Vedder's not very diverse as a singer, so that definitely did become something for me to I don't know struggle with Pearl Jam, and then the fact that they were not in the like the consciousness. Pearl Jam kind of forcefully disappeared, and they did their own thing, and that's really awesome that they did that. I appreciate them for not becoming corporate whores, but when it came to like grunge bands or alt rock or bands that were in the pseudo grunge or alt rock, anything that came out of that to me was better than what it was. You know, like Nirvana was its own thing, and the thing about grunge that's so interesting is that it's a lot like hair metal. It's more of a style choice than it is a music genre that you can really nail down. Now, in hindsight, you can look back and say, that's a grunge band, that's not a grunge band, but like, where do you put Alice in Chains? Like, where they're not a grunge band. They're almost more progressive metal than or progressive rock than they are a grunge band. Uh, their first album, Facelift, is probably the most grunge, but the second out, like once you get into Dirt, they're not a grunge band anymore. They're just fucking heavy and good. Like they're just different. Stone Temple Pilots, again, their first album was heavy and kind of grunge, but by the time you get to Purple and I forget the name of their third album, Always, they just start becoming a rock band. They're just a rock band with a little more not even aggression really. I mean, they're just we would have to define grunge. Well, it's just like defining progressive music. How do you define progressive music? You can't. There are so many different bands that are progressive. See, I disagree. I don't think Dirt is grunge all the way. I think Dirt has a lot of progressive elements and has a lot of I mean, what other grunge bands? No, I disagree with you. I don't agree with that. I completely disagree with that. I think if anything, all the other bands are more definition of grunge. Heart shaped box to me. Like whenever I think of grunge, I think of heart shaped box. Not even stuff on Nevermind. Like a lot of people will point to Smells Like Teen Spirit and go, "That's grunge," and I'll go, "That sounds more like a punk to me." Like a really dirty punk though, and maybe that's what grunge is. Maybe it's dirty punk, but that's what it is. Like it sounds so dirty and like songs off of Nevermind, like Rape Me is a grunge song. Like that's a fucking grunge song. That's a dirty ass song from like, and I mean musically dirty. I'm not talking about lyrically. Uh, Alice in Chains had a dirty sound, and if I was gonna pick, Facelift is definitely grunge. Man in a Box, Sea of Sorrow, like those songs are like. Well, never mind. Yeah, I mean I wouldn't call it pop punk because pop punk has an incredibly distinct style. Pop punk has a very very distinct sound. But never mind the difference. Like In Utero is more the pinnacle grunge album to me, because with In Utero, Kurt Cobain purposely was like, I want this to sound as shitty as possible. As shitty as humanly possible. That's what I want it to sound like. Whereas Nevermind is more polished and more corporate sounding. I mean, if you want to hear grunge at its most core, like you need to listen to Mother Love Bone. Mother Love Bone is the birth of grunge in reality. That's the reality of the fact. And if you listen to Temple of the Dog is the birthplace. Like I know Temple of the Dog came out after all this, but Temple of the Dog was a project that was being worked on before anything else. That was born out of Mother Love Bone, and unfortunately, the singer whose name eludes me at the moment died, and that fucked the whole deal. But like Mother Love Bone never gets credit for being one of the birthplaces of grunge. Good night, darling. My fiance just said good night to me via text. I saw it on my phone. All right, Green River. I don't even know what Green River is, dude. Who is that? Is that a band? Green River. By the way, if there's anybody else on this stream at the moment, it might just be me and Ian, and that's fine. I'm cool with that. I have a bunch of other people listening on on thatmetalstation.com right now, but But if you're watching this and you want to talk about something, throw it in the chat. Let's get involved. I can talk about anything. I know why it's not just grunge and rock and metal. Like I know a lot of other music too. So right now we got over on thatmetalstation.com we have Dream Theater playing, which is uh there will be the next band on Fandom Files coming up very soon. There will be weekly videos coming up soon. So Ian's out. Peace out, Ian. Thank you for stopping by. I will be doing this every Monday, so tell your friends. Oh, look at that. Wow, Green River. Green River is part of that Mother Love Bone like grouping. I did not know that. So something I definitely want to talk about that I probably won't bring up on thatmetalstation.com. I'll probably keep it here. But is it appropriate? So I have a video on the channel here about separating the artist from the art, and that particular video is focusing on an artist, a band by the name of the Orion Experience, because they had gotten themselves their lead singer guy, their lead songwriter, lead singer, Orion Semprini went and was accused of grooming a 14-year-old on TikTok, on Instagram, whatever. And that 14-year-old became very vocal about it and actually posted a bunch of proof. So I decided, as a purveyor of music and as someone who uh, involves themselves in uh, listening to music, promoting stuff, making videos about bands and whatnot, I was in the middle of writing a script to do a a video featuring the Orion Experience because I did so love their music. I really enjoyed their music. But that happened, and then I decided I wasn't going to support that band anymore, and I wasn't going to listen to their music anymore because it was just really shitty and really creepy and really icky, honestly. So, with that being said, you get like a legend like Aerosmith frontman Steven Tyler. Now, Steven Tyler is an interesting story on so many fronts because not only is Steven Tyler like a rock legend, rock and roll Hall of Famer, millions upon millions of records sold, just 40, 50 years, 50-year career now. And he gets accused of sexual assault of a teenager, but it was back in the 70s. So what does that mean? Like what do you do in that case? A woman filed a lawsuit against Aerosmith singer Steven Tyler alleging sexual assault, coercion of an abortion, and involuntary infamy in the 1970s when she was a minor and he was in his mid 20s. Her attorney, the suit was filed under the California Child Victims Act, which allows survivors of childhood sexual abuse to file civil cases. The 3-year look back window ends Saturday. I want this action to expose an industry that protects celebrity offenders, to cleanse and hold accountable an industry that both exploited and allowed me to be exploited for years, along with many other naive and vulnerable kids and adults, Misley said in a statement. According to the lawsuit, Misley first met Tyler, referred to as the defendant Doe 1 in the lawsuit, in 1973 while Tyler performed a concert in Portland, Oregon. At the time, Misley or Misley was 16 years old and Tyler was 25 years old. All right, more about this in a moment because I have to go. No. I have to go and do a break on thatmetalstation.com. So join me over there if you will. Oh, yeah. Dream Theater with Bridges in the Sky off the Dramatic Turn of Events album. What a fantastic, fantastic record that is. Probably, in my opinion, this might hurt a lot of feelings out there if you're a Dream Theater fan. But probably the last great Dream Theater album, in my opinion. And I will be breaking down Dream Theater in a big way on my series on my YouTube channel, redbeardvideos.com. Jesus Christ. Redbeard Videos on YouTube. I do a series called Fandom Files where I break down bands' entire studio career and all of their original works. So, and Dream Theater will be the next victim on that list. Usually it's bands that I love, and I love Dream Theater too, but I have a special love-hate relationship with them like I do Kiss. Love them to my core, but there's a part of me that gets very, very angry at them a lot. So look out for that coming probably in a week or two, hopefully. Before that, we had the Contortionist back-to-back. Contortionist Language 1, Intuition, Language 2, Conspire. Fantastic tunes, fantastic band. Hope that they put out something new soon as it is. So, I was just talking about, I have a video on my YouTube channel, and I talk about separating the artist from the art. And I was just on online here, and there was an article from about 2 weeks ago, and I haven't been on any platforms to be able to talk about this. So, what do you do when an artist that you love absolutely shits the bed as a human being and does something really shitty? Now, take that and make it even more confusing. What do you do when it's a rock legend like Aerosmith singer Steven Tyler, and he goes and he's all of a sudden accused of sexual assault of a minor, but it was in the 70s. He was 25 years old, she was 16 years old, and it was back in the 70s. Now, a law in California allows a victim of this type of situation to file a lawsuit, a civil case, forever, I guess. I don't know what the statute of limitations is, if there is any. But what I do know is that this has come up, and I don't know how I feel about it. Now, I'm not the hugest Aerosmith fan in the world, but still, you're talking about Aerosmith. Aerosmith has one of the few distinctions that a lot of other bands don't have, to have written the soundtrack of people's lives in two different two eras that were separated by a decade. Like, their 70s songs like Dream On and Train Kept a Rollin' and Same Old Song and Dance and all that stuff was like a bygone era that provided stuff for 70s fans that they remember. And then here comes the late 80s into the 90s when you have the Permanent Vacation stuff and the slew, like the veritable ton of hits with Dude Looks Like a Lady and Angel and Love in an Elevator and Living on the Edge and Crying and, oh God, just Don't Want to Miss a Thing and Jaded. Oh my God, Pink. And oh my, just hit after hit. My God. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, rock and roll legend, accused of something that happened. Do they have evidence of this? And the weirder part of this is that that she not only was she abused after a show, but she's accusing him of infamy. So what that makes me think is she like is she suggesting that maybe she's been a subject of lyrical content as well? So I'm gonna explore this further on uh on my YouTube channel on the live stream. So if you want to come over and chat, take a look at my ugly mug, and chat with me while your music's playing in the background, you can do that. You can kind of keep it low or do whatever and like have music playing in the background. But this is another band that I'm going to play right now, Glassjaw, who, if you listen to their lyrics of their first album, very questionable, very hatred, a lot of hatred towards women on that first album, and it makes me wonder, like, because the second album is complete opposite. It's almost like the lyrical content of their second album, Worship and Tribute, was basically saying, "Sorry about all that. That wasn't us." So I'm gonna go back over there. I'm gonna wrap up the YouTube portion of this momentarily, but I'm gonna finish that conversation and then I'll probably say goodbye on the YouTube side. But I'll be back here, so I'm gonna play some songs for you right now. It is Glassjaw from the Worship and Tribute album. The song is called Pink Roses, right here on Redbeard Radio on thatmetalstation.com. All right. So back to what we were saying. So I'm reading this. So let's see here. So according to the lawsuit, Tyler convinced Misley's mother to sign over the guardianship of her daughter to. Holy shit, this is deep. I totally didn't even know this. Hold on. The lawsuit alleges that Tyler, now 74, took Misley to his hotel room and performed various acts of criminal sexual conduct upon her that night. This lawsuit alleges Tyler purchased a plane ticket for Misley to join him in Seattle for the band's next show. The lawsuit also alleges Misley was also abused after that show. According to the lawsuit in 1974, Tyler convinced Misley's mother to sign over guardianship of her daughter to him. Holy shit. Myler made promises to the mother, Tyler made promises to the mother that he would enroll her in school, help support her, and help provide her with better medical care than her mother could provide, according to the lawsuit. I wonder if these people are poor. I wonder if these people are poor as shit. Boy, that would be really awful and gross. This is getting grosser by the second. Defendant Doe did not meaningfully follow through on these promises and instead continued to travel with, assault, and provide alcohol and drugs to the plaintiff. So that's where, yeah, that's where the infamy came from. That it's definitely not anything else. So oh wow. The suit also alleges that Tyler impregnated Misley and coerced her to have an abortion. Yikes. That is not good. Have an abortion by threatening that he would send her back to her family and cease support and love her. Plaintiff relented and the abortion was performed. Oh, wow. So in 2011 memoir, Does the Noise in My Head Bother You by Steven Tyler, he wrote about being so in love he almost took a teen bride whom the book does not identify. I went and slept at her parents' house for a couple of nights, and her parents fell in love with me. Signed papers over to me to have custody so I wouldn't get arrested if I took her out of the state. I took her on tour with me. Holy shit. Wow. Wow. The dude gave up the game. He gave up the whole game. That is bananas. Oh my god. Like that revelation, like so this is the deal with these guys. Like this is what drives me crazy. So this brings me to the Tillian Pearson and Dance Gavin Dance stuff. Like at what point at what point do you just like be like, "Oh, okay, so we're not going to believe these guys anymore." Like at what point does that happen? Because I got to be honest with you, if you put a woman in front of me and a man in front of me and they were, I would believe the woman like 90% of the time, especially when it comes to sexual assault. Because as someone who has been a DJ and worked in bars, and as someone who has been in the music scene and worked backstage a lot and was a musician, and I mean, I never coerced a woman, but I definitely know what being a good singer does to your panty dropping status. Let me just say that. And it doesn't take much of a nudge to get what you want. Okay? So when you become so famous and so powerful, what is to stop you from believing, especially in the 70s when it was like the fucking Wild West? What is to stop you from believing that you can just walk in and take someone's child away from them? Oh, it's fucking gross. As a man with daughters, it's fucking gross. I can't lie about that. And it's very upsetting. And that brings me to the Tillian Pearson situation with Dance Gavin Dance, why I can't back that band anymore. I just cannot. And it's sad for me because I so love their music so much. Hold on one second. Sorry, I'm just trying to get myself organized here for the radio side of things. Yeah, so I can't follow this band anymore because not only not only was Tillian Pearson accused of sexual assault and detailed. The woman was very detailed. But obviously, like proving rape in this country is damn near impossible. And but all you can do is expose somebody, right? And she came out bravely and exposed it, and it wasn't straight rape, but it was definitely a very strong coercion from a well put together man. Like you can look at him and see that the dude is like in shape and he's a rock star or whatever this era's version of a rock star would be. And the dude, like, he steps away from Dance Gavin Dance for a little while and does some bullshit about, like, I need time to work on myself, and can't comes up with the excuse that he was, abusing alcohol because of the death of his friend. And that's all well and good. I feel sympathetic about that. But at the same time, I don't feel bad for you, dude, because you assaulted a woman. So what? Like now what? And then Dance Gavin Dance went and did the right thing by releasing an announcement, like releasing a statement saying that they were allowing Tillian to go and take care of himself. What they should have said was, "We're booting this dude and we're going to move on without him." But I understand the business of things, and I understand that Tillian Pearson is probably the reason why they've become so popular. They were quasi underground popular for a long time, but then Tillian showed up and all of a sudden they're like hella popular. Like they're very popular band now. And they're not stupid, but at the same time I think this is going to hurt them or I hoped it would. And then all of a sudden, the announcement came out that not only is he back, but they're going on tour in England, and then an American tour is coming soon. And I swear to you, the collective high fives on Twitter were gross. It was just fucking gross. Is the only way that I can say it. And it upsets me, not only as a former fan of this band, but as a fan of music, and out of fear, like I'm afraid to like a new band now. Like I'm really into 68 now, the band 68, and I'm really really worried that they're going to fuck up. And all of a sudden one of those guys is going to become like some rapist, or or a racist or something like that, and I'm going to have to like deal with that shit. And that sucks, man. Like, and I don't want to make it like a personal thing, cuz it's not about me. Especially when it comes to sexual assault and rape, it's not about me. It's about the victim. But it is about me from a like an art standpoint, because I'm the consumer and music's my life. Uh-oh. I lost you for a second. It seems. But I think we're good now. So, anyway, to wrap up this conversation and this stream for that matter, because it seems like uh, I'm still working out the kinks of the technological side of things. And as you can see behind me, everything is quite in flux. So it'll all look better and get better as the weeks go by. So you have to bear with me. But there will be new videos posted very soon. So please stick with us here. And yeah, and just to wrap up that conversation, like as a fan of music, I can't separate the art from the artist, because I don't know, like I have people that look up to me, and I have children who pay attention to what I consume on a media front. So I can't just like be like, well, this guy may have sexually assaulted a woman, but he's got a killer voice, or I really love their music. I can't buy tickets to their shows. I can't wear their shirts. Like that's not okay. It's not okay. So for more on this, I have a video about the Tillian Pearson incident when it first happened. If you want the details of that, I have a video on the Orion experience situation as well, amongst other things. I have a million other videos up at redbeardvideos.com. God, I did it again, at Redbeard Videos on YouTube. Shit. Until next time, please join me here again. Every Monday, I'm doing a live stream, and I'm going to promote it more. That's the other thing I'm going to do, because I got like 8 or 10 watchers here, so that was cool. That was cool, considering I just did it out of fucking nowhere. So, and I even had a conversation with my boy Ian, who kind of parachuted in and added some content. So, awesome. Also, check out Retro Serial. It's a cool channel as well. All right, man. Thank you so much for joining me, as I so much enjoy being here with you. And until next time, take care. Bye. Oh, and if you want to continue to hear me and killer music, go over to thatmetalstation.com, where Redbeard Radio continues for at least another hour. So, take care.